Now back to the crossover with Marlon Jones and Armand Williams.
All right, welcome back to the crossover. KDUS 1060. My name is Armand Williams, the Hammer, partner Marlon Jones, Big Showtime. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on our social media accounts on both our YouTube and Facebook page, or as I call them, both of them. So go to both of them at the crossover 1060. Once again, that's at the crossover 1060. Guys, you can also call into our listener line at 602-260-1060. And with that, I got to tell you guys that you need to strap in for Biketoberfest at OTG Sports Grill from Wednesday, October 4th through Sunday, October 8th. Biketoberfest week will include a Harley-Davidson raffle, poker run, live bands, Miss Biketoberfest pageant, beard contest, barbecue cook-off, raffles, biker games, food trucks, vendors, and more. It's a week's worth of great live bands, food, drinks, atmosphere, and bikes, baby. So check it out. OTG Sports Grill at 801 South Power Road, just north of Southern Avenue on Power Road in Mesa. And again, Marlon and I will be partaking in that, and we're probably going to set something up on our Facebook page. So guys, go and check us out 1060 or at the crossover 1060. We'll probably put up an RSVP on our Facebook page for you guys to go ahead and sign up and show up and hopefully show out, because we're going to have some fun that weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good time up there for their bike week, especially that Saturday. And also, like you said, they're literally giving away a Harley Sportster. It's a real nice
they
bike.
really?
Oh,
They're giving away a Harley Sportster?
Yeah, it's a real nice bike.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know that. Thought they might give away like a little scooter or something like that. They're giving away a damn Harley.
Yeah.
All right. All right. We wanted to get in on this topic with Kyler Murray, and a lot of people are projecting that Kyler Murray. Speaking of scooter, yeah, that dude's got a scooter with the extra turbo boost on it. But he's rehabbing his knees, torn ACL and MCL, partly torn MCL from last season's game. That he suffered that late in the season. But there are some people that are speculating that Kyler Murray may not participate or play a down this season, which would be interesting. But in particular, and a lot of that, I don't really take much credence to it because of the source. But there is one source in particular that I am pretty interested in his take, and he gave this take a couple weeks ago, actually, on the Pat McCaffrey show. This is Mike Lombardi, who's a former NFL. He's an NFL analyst for the NFL Network, and he's a former VP of operations and a former GM, and he's spent his stint in the NFL about 30 seasons with like San Francisco 49ers, Oakland Raiders. He spent time in Cleveland, and he's most recently a key consultant actually to Bill Belichick for the New England Patriots. And this is what he had to say as far as his prediction of Kyler Murray not playing the entire season for the Cardinals.
I think this Colt McCoy move here with cutting him, and Kyler Murray being on PUP, I don't think people truly understand what is happening in the desert. And let me just give you a background on contract.
Floor is yours.
Okay. Every contract in the National Football League, with the exception of Deshaun Watson, is guaranteed for injury. No one guarantees for skill and injury, because then you have to do what the Browns did with Watson and send the money in future year guaranteed to the league's escrow account. But if you only put one of those clauses on guarantees, it doesn't have to be funded. So in Kyler Murray's case, he's got $56 million coming, and he has a potential to earn $92 million that are only protected by the injury guarantee clause. Okay? So they placed him on PUP. My sense of it is he won't play he will not play for the rest of the year, because they can't risk putting him back on the field and having him get injured, and now they're on the hook for $56 million, and they're on the hook for $92 million guaranteed. Now, 4 days at the beginning of next season to determine whether that contract becomes skill and injury guaranteed. I think this gives them the opportunity to continue to examine. He's off the field. He can't get any more hurt than he already is, and it keeps them from having an injury guarantee.
Hey.
All right, this is what he said from a recent article. I think this is SI. He said, I think this Colt McCoy move here, he's talking about when Colt McCoy was cut prior to the last preseason game going into the opener here tomorrow. in D.C. He says, I think this Colt McCoy move here, cutting him and Kyler Murray being on PUP, physically unable to perform list, I don't think people truly understand what's happening in the desert. And he said that. He goes on to say, let me just give you a background. He says every contract in the National Football League, which he mentioned Deshaun Watson's contract being guaranteed, they have to put money in escrow. But he's saying that they fear that he believes that the Cardinals organization, that they're ready to just go ahead and completely move on from Kyler Murray. And they don't want to risk putting him out there on the field because if he gets injured, gets hurt, now they're going to have to, and if he's not unable to go ahead and pass his physical of the year coming in 2024, that they're going to have to go ahead and eat those guarantees in his contract. And I remember I talked to you about this a couple weeks ago, how another article that projected that they would go ahead and probably release Kyler Murray, or if they decide to release him, they're going to have to do it before March 13th, which is the official start of the next NFL year, their next annual calendar year. Their calendar year starts right around March 13th, because that's the time that the free agency period starts. It kicks open right around 4 p.m. Eastern time on March 13th. If they keep him past March 13th after 4 p.m., then they're guaranteed to pay him for the year 2025, because right now he's going to make about $39 million this year. He's guaranteed to make 35.3 or something like that, $35.5 million in 2024. So the Cardinals are obligated to pay him for this season and for next season. But if they are able to release him prior to March 13th, of 2024 for that start of the new NFL calendar year, they don't have to pay the additional $29.9 million that they would owe him in 2025. Mike Lombardi's talking about them putting him on PUP for the entire season to avoid any possibility that they're going to have to go ahead and pay him guaranteed money.
So it looks like the writing's on the wall then.
Well, if Mike Lombardi's correct, yeah.
Right. Listen to everything that Lombardi just said. It makes sense. Makes business sense for the Cardinals. To go ahead and keep him on the shelf, so when they release him, they don't have to pay him all that guaranteed money, and if he gets hurt, pay that 96. So it looks like the writing's on the wall, and Kyler's pretty much days are numbered here in Arizona.
It appears so. It appears so. And I certainly think that they're probably, this new regime, they have no direct ties to him.
Nope.
Not the way that Steve Keim had ties to him or Cliff Kingsbury did. So, or the coaching staff, the prior coaching staff. So I think that it's far more likely that they do wind up trying to ship him off. But there are some critics to what Mike Lombardi and what Mike Florio have been reporting, through X, or formerly known as Twitter, as well as some of the other social media accounts, or what they're saying on radio or in interviews. And one of those critics happens to be Howard Balzert, who's actually, he's a Cardinals insider. He's a longtime Cardinals insider, as well as a contributor to PHNX Sports, something that you and I both recently got accustomed to. Mm-hmm. But he said, and his clapback to Mike Florio's report on X recently, he said that 2024 guarantees are not injury related, and the 2026 injury guarantee does not become guaranteed if he can't pass a physical in March. And then it goes on to say, I'll say it again, Cardinals need him to play and stay healthy this season to see what they have, or make him tradable if they want to move on. And then Mike Jurecki, of course, a gentleman, he's a longtime Cardinals insider, and we interviewed him our first show when we came back. He said as well in that same Twitter thread, that same X thread, he said that this guy is talking about Mike Florio, not necessarily Mike Lombardi, but he's talking about Mike Florio. This guy just regurgitates what everyone else says and then tries to link it to a website. So both of them are kind of giving a little bit of clap back to it. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's for me, because I trust those guys because they are Cardinals insiders. But Mike Lombardi is not just some run-of-the-mill bum that's just going out there and just, with the Twitter account and the Facebook page and the YouTube channel that's just going in and just throwing crap up against the wall and seeing what sticks. He's been in the rooms.
Right.
He's been in the front office rooms he knows something.
Well, you see the way they're handling Kyler now. Right. I can see where Lombardi comes up with this, with this hypothesis about what the Cardinals plan on doing with Kyler. Right. And like you said, it's not like he's some run-of-the-mill shock jock. I mean, he's got years and years of experience in the NFL, inside and outside of the locker rooms, general manager, and things of that nature. So he has a pretty good idea of what's going on and what the deal is with the contracts and what's going to happen if Kyler plays and gets hurt and what the Cardinals are on the hook for. So now, and you made a good point too, saying with this new staff, they really don't have ties to Kyler. They didn't draft him. They didn't.
And you saw what they did with Isaiah Simmons.
Oh yeah,
you saw the DeAndre
Absolutely.
Hopkins with Nuke. You guys got to go.
Got to go. So this new regime is coming in here with no ties to Kyler. So like I said, his days of playing are probably numbered.
Real quick, do you think that Kyler Murray gets on the field this season?
No.
Or you think you don't think that he's going to?
After hearing all this, no.
Okay, so you trust Mike Florio over Howard Balzer and Mike Jarecki? Okay, all right. Mike Jarecki is going to call you a clown. You know that. All right, coming up next. Speaking of Kyler Murray, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams' possibility the Cardinals draft him, or is he even interested in entering the next year's NFL draft? We'll talk about that coming up next. KDUS 1060, The Crossover.